chapel and the trees. This talk is called The Age of Starlight, and this, according to the latest cosmological theories, the cosmic dawn, this is when the moment the first stars in the universe began to emit light, some 100 million years after the Big Bang. The first stars were made up entirely of hydrogen, hotter and more massive and more luminous than our sun, and they were blue in colour. Before them, there was just a fog of hydrogen, the first dark ages. There was no light at all. Gradually, when the stars started to give off light, this light burnt off the hydrogen fog around them, and the universe became clear instead of opaque. The creation in Genesis 1. Now the earth was formless and empty, and darkness was over the surface of the deep. The Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. In the ancient mind, the sea and waters could represent chaos. The term waters could be an ideal idea of the primordial hydrogen, which of course would not be known to them at the time. Waters like the waters of chaos, of the universe, after the Big Bang, darkness over everything. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light, after he created something out of nothing, of course. The stars we see now have different colours depending on the elements in them. The night sky from ancient times has fascinated mankind. The ancient observers were very knowledgeable about the constellations, and for as long as we've been able to look up into the night sky, we have wondered about them. And what was the star that appeared at the time of Jesus' birth? There have been supernatural elements. There must have been a supernatural element for the final location. If there was a natural element, it could be one of several things, or all of them. At the time, there was a conjunction of the planets Jupiter and Saturn in Pisces in 7 BC, and a nova about a year later, and a meteor in 5 BC in March. The conjunction would have been significant to the wise men of Babylon, probably the wise men mentioned in Luke. Pisces was associated with Israel, and the planet Jupiter with a king. Because Daniel the prophet was exiled to Babylon just before 538 BC, the wise men would have known of the Hebrew prophets and writings, and the prophecy of the king to come about the time of Jesus' birth, Daniel's 77s, the anointed one who would come before the destruction of the temple, which happened in 70 AD. Daniel moved in court circles. The astrologers of the king would have known of the Hebrew writings and prophecies. This is not to endorse astrology, but these events could be used by the Lord to point to the truth. Jesus came to meet us where we are. They would be looking for a sign, and these events would have profound meanings for them. From the time of Abraham, the origins of the Hebrew people, there had been a gradual change in the mindset of the surrounding peoples. Then another quantum leap in the time of Jesus. It takes a long time to change and seep throughout the world. In the modern world, we take this mindset for granted, but there is nothing automatic or instinctive about it. The human mind is very pliable, and the ancient world was a very different place. There is a danger of going back into this hardness of heart. Jesus and the Judeo-Christian culture is the bedrock beneath our society, whether we know it or not. Its influence has gone throughout the earth, even in cultures who do not have a Christian background. The European culture, in many ways, is the default culture worldwide. It definitely is the light of the world. According to current thinking by cosmologists, the universe will expand out further and further, becoming increasingly dark and cold. This is called the heat death of the universe. All pretty pointless, really. But in Revelation, it predicts another age of starlight, a new creation, unlike the current creation we are now in. This will be a new order, for the old order has passed away. No more death or mourning, or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. That's Revelation 21:4. And in Revelation 22, Jesus says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. Revelation 22, I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright and morning star. Oh, for the break of that day!